Todd Blank was the project manager of a road construction project in Cambridge, Minnesota. As part of the construction process, a 30-foot deep trench was excavated in order to upgrade the existing sewer system.
This map here shows the project that we're talking about, and this was a deep sewer about 30 feet deep that the contractor was working on. So the night of the accident, there's a home store up in this area, and somebody that was visiting a friend had been to this store, and he had used this route before some weeks in the past. So he came down this way. It was dark. It had just gotten dark. And he came down to this point where it said road closed, use this other road. But he chose, instead of turning right, to continue towards the work zone. So then he went around the corner and came to this road closure where we actually had the road closed sign. And at that point, he still did not turn right, but proceeded into the contractor's area and towards the hazardous work zone. He drove around this closure, accelerated, and was going at a pretty decent rate of speed and down and over into a 30-foot deep trench. So it's just like driving off a cliff.
I'm JP Galach. I'm the Public Affairs Coordinator for MnDOT in District 3, which is central Minnesota. Never drive around a road closed sign. Road closed is different than lane closed. So if there's a lane closed sign, it means there's a lane open someplace. But if it's road closed, it means the whole road is closed. And that means that there is something on the other side. And by going into that area, you're bringing a risk to yourself, or you're bringing a risk to other people, or both.
He had some very serious injuries, and he had to be airlifted out of that area. He ended up with a punctured lung, broken bones, a broken pelvis. And this was about a 40-year-old male. He did construction work, that was his trade, and so he had serious injuries and had to do something else with his career after that point.
Minnesota highway agencies use Type 3 barricades with clear messages, reflective surfaces, and flashing lights to keep drivers out of the construction zone.
Well, when we use road closed on a construction site, it's because we don't want anybody into that except for the workers who know exactly what's going on. So there's usually something dangerous and hazardous in that area. It's not the same roadway that the public just drove on the day before or the week before. These contractors probably dug some kind of trench or hole or something that's a hazard in there.
Heavy moving equipment, deep holes, the biggest risk, maybe not to the person driving the car, at least immediately, but the biggest physical risk is to the workers who are actually working on the other side of that road closed sign.
When we have road work ahead, it just means be careful as you're going forward. And when it says road closed, I mean, that means keep out danger, and it's closed and nobody should go in there.
Minnesota highway agencies work with contractors to ensure that road closed signs and other traffic control devices are used properly and installed correctly. After installation, it is the driver's responsibility to beware and be aware of road closed signs.